since 1952, Celtics basketball fans everywhere have heard play-by-play this way.
Bird pops out, gets it on the sideline, goes baseline, throws it up, and Larry Bird did it again! He did it again! Oh my goodness! He did it again!
Well, in that lack of enthusiasm, Johnny Most, the voice of the Boston Celtics, along with his broadcast partner, Mr. Glen Ordway, join us this morning to talk about the Celtics and, I suppose, ineluctably the Lakers, as well as their new venture, which is called Fiddle Diddle Sports Fantasy Tapes, which we're going to hear. I can imagine where they got that sound. And we welcome you to...
Yes, John, great to have you here.
I think he's going to be surprised when he hears it.
He is going to be surprised, yes, because we have got a fantasy tape for you later on.
Oh,
Tom
I understand.
Cottle,
I don't know what it's going to be.
All right, had a couple days now to recover from the other night. How do you both
Yeah, that
feel?
wasn't enough.
No?
No.
How do you feel?
I'm still playing this thing over in my mind and figuring how, we might have done it differently to win it, what happened and so forth. It's something that's going to live with the guys more than with me all summer long, because they don't really feel that there's anybody better than they are. I mean, it's not arrogance. I'm talking about it's self-confidence. They have that, and they have that feeling that they should have won, that, this shouldn't have happened. And they're going to live with that the rest of the summer. And you got people like Bird who will actually analyze why it may have happened. He'll put all the blame on himself. That's
but
the
no
kind of kid he is.
No excuses from Larry Bird.
No, absolutely
not. And that was I was proud of that.
I'm remembering back to last year when the tables were turned. Okay, when the Celtics won and the Lakers lost, and I heard all kinds of things like migraine headaches and too much heat in the Garden, and of course they didn't turn the heat off for the Celtics,
But it was a little hotter at one end of the floor, John.
Then a fire alarm that went off in the hotel. I heard all kinds of these things, but Bird will not give anything as an excuse. And I can tell you right now, this guy's arm is like a piece of raw meat in a sense, because it's. Yeah. He's incredible. I mean, he plays with all kinds of pain. And,
you can tell the way he was shooting free throws.
Yeah.
He's just incredible.
What's it like working with this man, Glenn?
Well, I thought he set the fire alarm in the Lakers hotel last year. Matter of fact, the first night they came in this year, there was another fire alarm, and I called John, and I said, good work, you're really at it again.
What is it like working with
It's
John?
interesting. John is very, very unique in that he's very unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. I think the first couple of years, and this is the fourth year I've worked with him, the first couple of years were a little bit difficult in that, it was a matter of getting to know each other. John's been in the business so long. He has his set ways. I think the last couple of years have been great for me.
Listen,
now we know what each other are doing, and we start to work off of each other.
John
like
is predictable, though, when it comes to Dan Issel and those kind of people. You are predictable. Listen, wait a second. You guys, there's a very important moment that comes in game 4, when it's 2 apiece. We've got a little piece of that tape on how you guys were feeling and calling that particular game. Here's the recent playoffs, Celtics and Lakers, where it really looked like the Celtics are now back in stride.
Yeah.
Here's Most and Ordway.
15 seconds. All right, Magic guarding DJ. Right now, there's a double stack, and Larry walks through the lane coming to the right. And he gets the pass. Goes into the lane. Jump pass back out to DJ. DJ throws up. It's gone! It's gone! And no time left! It's all over! It is all over! And it's good by DJ from the left side! It's all over! Boston wins the all-important 4th game!
Who won that game, John? What happened there?
You do get a bit excited, don't you?
Just a little bit, just a wee bit excited. But of course, that a lot of people have asked me if I do that like meticulously planned, and a trigger goes off, and that's part of a script. It isn't, because our way I've always worked is just let it all hang out. I mean, if you're emotional, be emotional. Yeah. Don't try to stop it. And I'm a very emotional person, and when the emotion gets provoked, that's the result.
You had a stroke 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, in February of '83.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. I still get pimples, you know, I still chase girls. I mean,
In that order?
But nothing seems to hold you down.
well, I get tired perhaps a little bit more than I did before, and I have to obey the rules a little bit more. The rules being 8 hours sleep a night. You know, I don't always get the 8 hours, but I'm pretty close all the time, and I try. I'm fairly meticulous about that. If I go to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, I get up at noon. So I get the 8 hours.
Yeah.
Glenn and John, I'd be curious to know, do you feel that the press covers, that they shouldn't cover the personal lives of the Celtics or the men that play the game, but do you feel that their personal worlds get full enough attention? They might have a problem. They might be going through a divorce. Someone might have died. That might affect their game. Should we know about that?
Yeah, but I don't think the players want that exercised in the media. I think there's been some real problems in the last couple of years with a couple of paternity suits in which the newspapers picked up, but they smartly picked it up in the news section and not the sports section, which is
I went through a divorce. I went through a divorce action, and I think that some of the members of the media were very kind to me because I asked them to be. You know, I'm close to everybody in the business, and I asked them to be. I said, hey, I'm going through this. Lay off it if you can. And if you notice somebody within your organization has a story and relative to that, see if you can squash it for me. And most of the guys were very, very cooperative.
So
they really helped me.
You think the
but that's
personal life
because
should be
I'm a
protected.
colleague, you know. But however, some of the people in the press, in the media, get the impression that a big story is a big story.
No matter what.
And the hell with the personality involved, and the hell with the ramifications. And I'm thinking about the ramifications of some of these domestic squabbles that they have on the children involved. There are children involved, and that's what you got to think of.
All right, speaking of children, John, fiddle faddle. You want to talk about the fantasy tapes?
Oh,
Fiddle diddle.
Fiddle diddle. Fiddle faddle.
He fiddles.
Next year it'll be fiddle faddle. This fiddles and
but then he
diddles.
doodles
I
and
know.
daddles.
Doodles and daddles. And then quickly over to Bird.
All right, but these tapes are for kids and for
No, they're
adults
not.
and for everybody.
You know what they are? They're for well, basically we started it as a lark for somebody who has everything, and a wife might say, what do I give this guy for his birthday? I mean, he's got everything, you know. Well, he might be a sports fan, and he might have dreamed that he was the guy that stole the ball, not Johnny Havlicek.
Right.
And he has this fantasy all those years. And so you give him something like that, and suddenly he's the big hero that we all talked about for the last 20 years.
Let's show you what John's talking about. Can we have Tom Cottle on tape? Well, all right,
All right, here's the picture. 28 seconds left in Game 7 of the NBA Championship. The Celtics trail the Los Angeles Lakers by 1. It's 117-116, and the Lakers have the ball.
And things are not looking great for the Celtics right now, John. They have to get the ball back. Tom Cottle is coming back into the game right now after a quick minute-and-a-half breather, and Cottle really has been the offensive story for the Celtics today. 32 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists.
All right, quickly the pass goes to Magic. You know he's not going to rush a bad shot. All right, Magic takes it outside. 25 seconds left. Magic is fiddling and diddling outside. He's got the clock down to 21. Magic going to the right now to Worthy. Worthy goes into the lane, throws it up. It's no good. The rebound comes out to Kareem, and Cottle steals it. Cottle just took it down court to Bird. Back to DJ. Over to Cottle. Up fake. Drives. Lays it up and in. And the buzzer's down. It's all over. It's all over. Cottle stole the ball. Then scored at the other end to win it for the Celtics. I don't believe it. A miraculous finish to a spectacular series. The Celtics win the championship. Cottle did it in dramatic fashion. The Celtics do it.
That's all? That's all? It doesn't go on?
It continues on a little bit, yeah.
Oh, I
that's
love that.
great.
They
John.
normally go about 6 minutes long, but that was an abbreviated.
That is
Now, how do
fantastic.
people get these if they want?
They can call a phone number, 826-6999, and they will hear John's dulcet tones doing a small fantasy tape, and then all they have to do is leave a name and phone number and address, and we'll send them out a brochure and a questionnaire, because each one of them is personalized.
It's
It's
different.
826-6999.
We had one that was absolutely precious that came through. Some guy was being roasted in Connecticut, and so his buddies who were planning the roast wanted to do a fantasy tape, and they heard about that, and so they called us up and they ordered. It was like a little package, tailor-made, okay, and it was the Colgate Deeks versus the Skidmore somebody or other, and
Dolly Parton was playing for Skidmore.
Yeah.
We have to
Thanks,
take this
John.
break. We thank you both
Thank
for
you,
coming.
Glenn.
Thanks for
Great
the
to
good
have
seeing
you
you.
here.
Good seeing you.
Thanks a
Good
lot.
health to both of
Thank
you.
you, Glenn.